Hello, Tamara Green here for A Course in Miracles lesson number 73. Let's open up the kidneys and our hip joints. So we're going to take our thumbs and we dig them, kind of really push into our right and left kidney, kind of in that lower back area, and push the hips forward at the same time to open up the front of the hip sockets. So we're kind of pushing and stretching the front of the hips. And then we move to one side and open up the outside of that hip joint. And then we swing around to the other side, sticking out that hip and opening up the outside of that hip joint. And now around, all the way around, 5 times in each direction. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Back and forth. All right. A Course in Miracles number 73. I will, there be light. Today we are considering the will you share with God. This is not the same as the ego's idle wishes, out of which darkness and nothingness arise. The will you share with God has all the power of creation in it. The ego's idle wishes are unshared and therefore have no power at all. Its wishes are not idle in the sense that they can make a world of illusions in which your belief can be very strong. But they are idle indeed in terms of creation. They make nothing that is real. Idle wishes and grievances are patterns or co-makers in picturing the world you see. The wishes of the ego gave rise to it, and the ego's need for grievances, which are necessary to maintain it, peoples it with figures that seem to attack you and call for righteous judgment. These figures become the middlemen the ego employs to traffic in grievances. They stand between your awareness and your brother's reality. Beholding them, you do not know your brothers or yourself. Your will is lost to you in this strange bartering in which guilt is traded back and forth and grievances increase with each exchange. Can such a world have been created by the will the Son of God shares with his Father? Did God create disaster for his Son? Creation is the will of both together. Would God create a world that kills himself? Today, we will try once more to reach the world that is in accordance with your will. The light is in it because it does not oppose the will of God. It is not heaven, but the light of heaven shines on it. Darkness has vanished. The ego's idle wishes have been withdrawn. Yet the light that shines upon this world reflects your will, and so it must be in you that we will look for it. Your picture of the world can only mirror what is within. The source of neither light nor darkness can be found without. Grievances darken your mind, and you look out on a darkened world. Forgiveness lifts the darkness, reasserts your will, and lets you look upon a world of light. We have repeatedly emphasized that the barrier of grievances is easily passed and cannot stand between you and your salvation. The reason is very simple. Do you really want to be in hell? Do you really want to weep and suffer and die? Forget the ego's argument, which seek to prove all this is really heaven. You know it is not so. You cannot want this for yourself. There is a point beyond which illusions cannot go. Suffering is not happiness, and it is happiness you really want. Such is your will in truth. And so salvation is your will as well. You want to succeed in what you are trying to do today. We undertake it with your blessing and your glad accord. We will succeed today if you remember that you want salvation for yourself. You want to accept God's plan because you share in it. You have no will that can really oppose it, and you do not want to do so. Salvation is for you. Above all else, you want the freedom to remember who you really are. Today, it is the ego that stands powerless before your will. Your will is free, and nothing can prevail against it. Therefore, we undertake the exercises for today in happy confidence, certain that we will find what it is your will to idle wishes can detain us, nor deceive us with an illusion of strength. Today, let your will be done, and end forever the insane belief that it is hell in place of heaven that you choose. We will begin our longer practice periods with the recognition that God's plan for salvation, and only His, is wholly in accord with your will. It is not the purpose of an alien power thrust upon you willingly. It is the one purpose here on which you and your Father are in perfect accord. You will succeed today, the time appointed for the release of the Son of God from hell and from all idle wishes. His will is now restored to his awareness. He is willing this very day to look upon the light in him and be saved. After reminding yourself of this and determining to keep your will clearly in mind, tell yourself with gentle firmness and quiet certainty, I will there be light. Let me behold the light that reflects God's will and mine. Then let your will assert itself, joined with the power of God and united with yourself. Put the rest of the practice period under their guidance. Join with them as they lead the way. In the shorter practice periods, again, make a declaration of what you really want. Say, I will there be light. Darkness is not my will. This should be repeated several times an hour. It is most important, however, to apply today's idea in this form immediately you are tempted to hold a grievance of any kind. This will help you let your grievances go instead of cherishing them and hiding them in darkness. So 73 is, I will there be light. The ego wants to fight this tooth and nail. It does not want to let go of this one. So it's a very easy concept. It's a very simple, it's not easy. No. It's a simple concept. It's a simple truth, but it's very difficult because that ego has such a tight hold on us. It certainly has for me. So I want to share this prayer in one of my favorite books that I've been sharing, the 7 Sacred Flames. And in this prayer, I have repeated this over the years, maybe hundreds of thousands of times. There's especially this particular line, because it really is about, my will. I will to join God's will. That's really what this prayer is about. So I'm going to read the whole. It's a short prayer, but I'm going to read the whole thing. But then I'm going to pull out that one line, and that's the one I just kept repeating over and over and over. And once you really create like a mantra for yourself, the ego more and more starts to take that back seat. You don't feel the need to understand it so much anymore, but you just begin. I guess it's the difference between wanting to understand it and beginning to embody it, and then you begin to understand it because you're embodying it. So it's bypassing the having to know what it means kind of thing, having to understand it, but just kind of doing the mantra. And then you actually reach that place through embodiment. All right, so here's the wonderful prayer I've repeated so many times in the last 25 years or so. Beloved God, presence I am, eternal Father God, may the covenant I made with thee be totally fulfilled. May I live my life to feel your love and see your light. May your will manifest on earth as it is in heaven. Into thy hands I surrender my being, that through me God be glorified in all things, and so be it. Beloved I am. And the phrase, may I live my life to feel your love and see your light. May I live my life to feel your love and see your light. May I live my life to feel your love and see your light. Because as I feel your love, I'm able to feel the love that I am. And as I see your light, I'm able to see the light that I am. And when I feel and know the love that I am and the light that I am, salvation is ever so possible. And it is a guarantee. It's repeated over and over in the lessons that it is a guarantee, because we're all on this beautiful movement of getting there. But we can actually choose to get there a little faster. And for me, it's repeating that beautiful phrase, may I live my life to feel your love and see your light. It just makes me happy to say that. And with that, may you be well. May you feel safe. And may you be at peace. I'll see you tomorrow.